Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I will be discussing on one of the data link layer protocol known as point-to-point protocol. We also call it as PPP protocol. So here we will see three topics. First, the features of point-to-point protocol. Next, we will see the frame format. And lastly, we will see the transition phases of point-to-point protocol. First, let us see the features. So the main function of PPP is to define the frame format that needs to be exchanged between two devices. It helps in negotiation of two devices for the exchange of data. It helps in encapsulation of data that needs to be shared between two devices. It helps in authentication of devices. It helps in multiplexing, where the data can be transferred to multiple devices at the same time. As I told you, it helps in multi-point connection at a time. And lastly, it helps in network address configuration. So these are all few features or functions of point-to-point protocol. So next, let us see the frame format of point-to-point protocol. So this is the frame format where we have the first field known as flag, and the last field is same, flag will be there. The second field is 1 byte of address. We call it as broadcast address. We can see all bits are assigned 1. 1 byte of control field we have, 1 to 2 bytes of protocol field, and we have variable length of payload, and 2 to 4 bytes of frame check sequence, or we can call it as cyclic redundancy check control. So let us see some definition of each field. So as I told, we have the first and the last field known as flag, which is of 1 byte, that helps in identifying the beginning and the end of the frame. So you can see here the beginning and the end frame. So it contains 1 byte, which is 0 followed by 5 ones 0. Okay. Next, we have 1 byte of address field. So this is nothing but a broadcast address where all the bits are set to 1. Next, we have 1 byte of control field. Okay, that indicates the unnumbered frames. Okay, in the data, and we have 2 bytes of protocol field that indicates the encapsulated protocol. So in the upcoming videos, we will see about encapsulation of header, all those things. Then we have variable length payload. So that helps in identifying the encapsulated data like IP protocol or whatever it may be, IP pad, payload, all those. And lastly, we have 2 to 4 bytes of frame check sequence. That is the CRC bit that helps in error control. So this is the overall frame format of point-to-point protocol. And lastly, we have the transition phases of a point-to-point protocol. So we have totally 5 phases of transition phases and one optional known as authentication phase. So let's start from dead state. First, there will be a dead state of any node, like system 1 and system 2 are there. Both are in dead state. So if they want to get connection, then you need what is known as carrier or some media. So here you can see, once they find the carrier is detected, then they will establish the connection. Once the connection is established, then they can go for getting the network, a point-to-point network or point-to-multipoint network. Once the network is formed, then they can start sending the data by network layer configuration. Once the data transmission is completed, then the last stage they can go for termination, means closing the connection. Once the connection is closed, then the link will be closed. That is, carrier is dropped. But here you can see the optional field. So before establishing the network, if they are sending some or they are communicating some critical information, then they need to authenticate by themselves. Then they need to go for authentication phase. Okay. If they fail in authentication, then the connection will be terminated immediately. If not, if the connection is successful, that's all, authentication is successful, then they can go for network configuration and transmission of data. So in this way, the 6 phases will help in establishing the connection, data transmission, authentication, data transmission, and lastly, closing the connection once the data transmission is completed. So these are the various phases of point-to-point protocol. So hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching and subscribe my YouTube channel for more videos. Bye.